Steve and I, we get this letter from this guy named Will Wheaton, right? He's a Crip. And he goes, I'm in jail. I have a case right now, and I wanna help out. My wife is a cocaine queen of San Diego. She buys kilos up in LA. She brings them down here, rocks them up, and she's pretty and she can sell them to anybody. She'll park her car uptown San Diego and she'll walk down to a hotel downtown. And she has a bunch of guys selling for her out of the hotel room. You will never see her out there selling, but she has kids, she has adults, and she's on probation. So I look her up. She's on probation, 2 felony probations for selling crack cocaine. At the time, this is 1992, we had that cocaine, that rock cocaine.
Yeah.
So your third strike is life in prison.
Yeah.
If you get, that 100 ounces of 100% pure, right? I look up Tega. Her name is Tega Johnson. She's on probation. So Steve and I go to her house. We follow her around. We confirm that what this guy is saying in the letter. We go to the jail to talk to him. We tell him we can't talk about your case. We were both pretty naive at the time because the DA had a fucking fit. But anyways, we go to Tega's house. She's living in Section 8 housing in a nice part of San Diego. We go to her house. We find 4 ounces of rock cocaine or 6 ounces of rock cocaine in the microwave oven. She microwaved it. And she was the biggest bitch in the world while we were doing the probation search. And once we found the crack, she says, what can I do for you guys? And it was like, she was one of the best informants I've ever had. And I've had some great ones. But she ended up cooperating with us. Steve Parrish was the lead agent on the case. I was helping him. I was a probation officer. I didn't feel real comfortable taking the lead on a lot of things. So my first year or so, I just ended up being that guy that did surveillance, that wrote the surveillance reports and stuff like that. And I was taught by the best because I always associated with the best, the guys that were the workers, And so Steve took the lead on the case, and we ended up buying dope from every major Black gang member in San Diego and some Hispanic. But at the time, the cocaine was controlled by the Black street gangs. However, when we ended up doing our sweep at the end of the case, the sources were always Mexicans. You talk to the street gang members, and it was always this Joe Blow Mexican guy that really didn't have a criminal history. He lived around the corner and low key. But that was a big case because we put a camera in Tega's car. We had the FBI install it because our DEA tech ops at the time wasn't very good. So we had the FBI install it. It was a radio speaker, shining down or reflecting down on the passenger seat. And so we would bring Tega in. We would go in the boss's office. Our boss was Charles Howard. I don't know if you know Charles. Charles was a great dude. And we would go in Charles's office, get on the landline, and we would tell her who to call. Call this guy. He tried to kill a cop last year. Call him and see if you can buy dope for him. So we were directing for her as who to call. We were getting the biggest targets we could, and she would meet them. We would do a surveillance, and she would meet them at a mall, parking lot, and she would videotape. We would buy 6 ounces, okay, because we need 100%, 100 grams of 100% pure. So we structured the case in order to lock these guys into the 10 years minimum mandatories down. And most of these guys had priors. So a lot of them were looking at life at the end. And so we did that case, Operation Rainbow, Steve and I. And Steve was so good with the informant. I mean, I was older than Steve. I liked to sleep at night. Steve be up all night, getting ready for the next day.